Oh, you can blame me for being a couple minutes late. Or are we a couple minutes late? Maybe 30 seconds. I got carried away talking to this man about sports in general. It's Friday. I hope you've come prepared. You know what time it is. It's Kevin Says. Here we go. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is HIGHBURY SQUAD. There I am talking to Kev about Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson, the trades, Everton's FA Cup game, and he's like, oi, oi, let's go, let's go. Here he is, my podcast brother from another mother returns, Mr. Super Kev, Super Kevin Campbell.
Hi, squaddies. Funky Friday is here. And you know what? We love ya. So let's get moving. At ease, squaddies. At ease.
At ease. Good evening to all of you in live chat and most of you who will be listening on replay. There is a Premier League game going on this evening, so we understand a lot of you will be watching. And to those on replay, we hope you are also epic and all is good in your world. Hello to the crew who have joined us this evening. Squaddy royalty in the house already. Yes, look, we've got Benjamin and we've got Gabrielle joining us. Look, their eyes, they're looking at us, Kev. They're just watching us.
Just checking us out, making sure, where's them squaddies? Keep them in check.
Yeah, they're keeping everybody in check. All right, everybody. It's a brand new game this weekend. Lots to talk about. Everyone's ragging on Mikel Arteta for complaining about the fixture list, but we're going to get stuck into Super
Love
Kev.
it. Moan, Mikel, moan. Learn.
Yeah, do it the Fergie way. Do it the Klopp way.
Moan
do it the
about
Pep way.
Everything.
Isn't
moan
it
about
funny?
Everything.
Isn't it funny when Mikel moans? I mean, look at me defending him. But when Mikel moans, everyone is like, "Who? What are you moaning for?" But when Klopp moans or Pep moans or you know, that player safety, player this, play that. Just because we haven't played in Europe and we haven't played too many games, Super Kev.
Listen, let me tell you something. One thing I've learned about football, if there's something to moan about, make a noise. Because the moment you keep quiet about it, further down the line, if you ever moaned at the start, you ain't going to get it down the line. Moan at the beginning when you're not in the Europe and you're not doing that. So when you get to that point, people start taking you serious. I think it's a good sign. George Graham always used to say that. I'm going to moan about everything he used to say. Good.
I think so too.
Right.
And the fact that we've ruffled feathers, like, you know, even the West Ham tweet about Benjamin White being the most irritating player in the league right now. I love it. You know, moan about Arteta moaning. I love it. This is what we want. We want it. And you know what? Before it was like, oh, they're so weak. Oh, they're so this, they're so that. Now we're showing some guile and we're showing some bravado. They still don't like it. Super Kev.
But Sophie, have you noticed something? All of that softly stuff has changed now. They're really coming a little bit harder now.
Yeah.
We don't like this one and we don't like that. You never heard that before. When Arsenal ain't doing anything, you never heard we don't like this one. Nah. This is where we earn our stripes, guys.
Absolutely.
The Arsenal are building them foundations. Well, I don't
totally. No. Okay, we're going to get stuck into it. Suraj, and the only reason I changed my cap is because I've been living in that cap since I bought it when we went fishing. And the only reason I took it off was like, I can't wear that 3 days in a row. Plus, I wore it on the Galaxy podcast last night. And I'm like, I've got to change my cap. So there you go.
It would have went nice with that jacket.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, damn, no, I can't do it. So I put this one on. Kev, I do want to say something because I haven't had an opportunity this week. It's been so busy with all the shows and all of our guests and stuff like that. But I did want to say a massive thank you to the person that, you know, totally embraces the Arsenal every single day when we're doing shows and everything. It was my 19th anniversary this week. And I didn't get to say anything on the show, and I just wanted to say a massive thanks to Tony for being an epic partner in crime. And Kev, when you found a girl that can wear a dress like this and then also do this, you know you're winning in life.
You've cracked it, haven't you? Let's be honest. You've cracked.
I mean, it's even the boxer shorts and the shirt right here.
I'm checking that out. I can see the cannons on the boxers. Listen, you're doing it right. So
she's got the fever pitch boxers on, brilliant, and the Arsenal shirt, and then by night,
the elegance of the dress and the heels, love it, lovely stuff.
Absolutely, 19 years, Kev. It's a lifetime.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
Fantastic.
She does look thrilled. Hey, listen, of course she does. She's wearing Arsenal kit. Absolutely. And thanks, Tony, for your support of Sophia saying the squaddies. Very nice. They're epic. Right, here we go, you guys. Thank you for indulging me for a quick second. Let's get stuck into this week's Kev Says. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to play the videos. Okay, here we go. Question number 1.
Thank you.
Sophie and squaddies. Kev says, here we go. So, let's get into it. Question number 1. What is the main positive out of that loss? What's the main positive out of that loss that you get? That's question 1.
Okay, so the main positive that I get out of this loss, Super Kev, and you know how I always like to go first, is that we lost to probably, I think they're the best team in the world right now. I know Chelsea won the Club World Cup. I know Manchester City are top of the league. But the fact that, is it 12 or 14 points they were behind in January, Kev?
12, 14, it doesn't matter. They railed it in to 1. It doesn't matter, does it? It's an unbelievable feat what they've done.
It's unbelievable. And when you look at the ability to substitute players like Jota and Diaz and bring on Firmino and Salah, and you've got Van Dijk and you've got Robertson, who had an absolutely brilliant game. Trent Alexander-Arnold, not so much against.
Oh, do you see what's happened to him?
Is it? Did we break his hammy?
Martinelli's done his hamstrings, everything. He's never going to be the same. He's not the same. Martinelli smashed him up. Sorry to just cut across you, but
no, not at all.
He's like that. Timer. Under arrest.
He broke his neck, Kev.
He broke him up, man. Martin hosted him.
Oh, let's give it some of that. That deserves a little bit of that.
Get well soon, obviously.
No,
but
I know. We're just having
Martinelli's he's a special talent. He is.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, for all those reasons, the sky wasn't falling, and I think that, look, you don't want to expect to lose. I thought we handled certain parts of the game well. If Odegaard buries that chance, who knows what the game looks like at 1-0. They open up a little bit more. Maybe we can counter a little bit more. Ramsdale will kick himself for a long time in terms of how he handled his near post. And let's be honest, well, you know what I mean. Like, he'll kick himself, but in a sense that he takes responsibility. It's not going to be in his brain mentally, you know?
Yeah, it better not be, because we play tomorrow, so you know what I mean? It better not be. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those reasons, and also the second goal, Kev, Arlo White on the commentary here was talking about, he was saying to Lee Dixon and Graham Lasso, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, this is going to end up in a goal or something. He said, are you guys surprised by how slow Liverpool are in their build-up today? And I think we slowed them down. Some of my Liverpool fans are like, oh, we just toyed with you. I'm like, no, you didn't toy with us. Jurgen Klopp was going ape shit on the sideline. Yeah, absolutely. And then that slow build-up, I thought, man, how we let ourselves get caught there, and we shouldn't have. But for these reasons, the team didn't go into a shell, says Matthew Hudson. Barry says, team didn't collapse when losing and fans stayed with the team. Thank you, Elliot, and everybody. Demsec, main positive, we only lost 2-0 and could have won. I completely agree. Martinelli is a positive. Party continued to show form. Hello, Mr. Waffles, back in the house.
Hey! Howdy!
Our friends from Malawi, the main positive is that we were not embarrassed. So some fans have an issue with this particular narrative, Kev, but the truth is we lost 4-0 earlier in the season, and we were a completely different proposition against them in this game.
Yeah.
You can see we adapted, right? I think it's like, if you could say it's a really good 2-0 loss, you can shoot me for that, but yeah. Mark says main positive is we match Liverpool performance-wise most of the match. 33-5ers, still waiting for my money. We continued to attack even though we were down 2 goals. We didn't go into a shell. Terence, main positive, it was 2-0 versus one of the best teams in the world. And we showed with a couple of additions we will be on their level. I think we need more than a couple, Kev. I think we need 5 minimum.
Yeah, 5 for the team and squad. Minimum.
Yeah.
Well,
Virginia says
I reckon
we
it's
can
about
compete.
8, but...
Probably.
No,
Hey,
I think it's
Virginia.
about 8. Yeah.
We can compete with the best teams in the league with a few more signings, Kev. No doubt. We got schooled on winning. Okay, what we got schooled on is what you need to have a winning team. I don't think we got too schooled.
I didn't think we got schooled
the
on
game.
it.
No.
I didn't think we got schooled on it, but they are that finished article.
Yes.
We aren't.
Yes.
So they're a bit more wise than us. They know a
Yes.
little bit more than us. They know how to they know how to weather the storm.
Yeah.
And then hit us in the mouth. We punched them in the mouth, but we couldn't knock them down.
Yeah. It was like that Frank Bruno punch where he thought he had Tyson in the 5th round. And
Shook
he
him, and
didn't.
then
You know, in
Tyson
the
was
end,
like, really,
yeah.
really,
Really? Hello.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the schooling for me is learn the lessons of what you need to get to that level, to be that kind of team, the gaps that we still have in the squad. Gooner Cult, we played well the whole game. We outplayed them for 35 minutes. If we had finished on the team, we could have won, and that is the massive progress in the last few years. Phil says, shows Arteta has a system. That's what I liked. Ian says, the progress in team spirit is glaringly apparent. Matthew Hudson World said, in the past, this team would fold 5-0. Martinelli owned Trent like Ashley Cole owned Ronaldo. We lost to a better team. We're on our way. Circus Martinelli. Henderson's going to... Is he? I don't know about that. Henderson is still...
He will at some stage.
Yeah, he's struggling a bit this season, but he's still there. Amira says our ability to go toe-to-toe. In the past, we would have gone into the game giving them 3 points, but now we're making them fight for it. Ayushman says we were in the game for most part and could compete versus the last few matches. Shows progress and growth. The team should be hungrier by finishing 4th and looking forward to the next season. Tammy says rest lacquer tomorrow. Do that BRUK da NEK noise, Kev, says Ian.
Broke them up. That was Martinelli, man. Woo.
Proving to our young players that we can compete with teams at the top, though we're not quite there yet. And GD, I think this is a very important point, Kev, because you need to keep showing those young players there's something worth fighting and staying for here. Because like we brought you in, like we're building on you, we're going to keep building on that. And I think that's really important.
Yeah,
Kev, right?
you have to feel part of it. You have to, you know what, you have to see it, don't you, and feel it. And
Yeah.
I'm sure those players see it and feel it.
Definitely. Suraj says the positives, we can't get too big-headed with where we are. And the humbling by Liverpool is a marker for what we still need to do and improve. I don't think anyone's getting big-headed, not here
Big-headed
anyway.
nowhere. Not
Yeah.
even after we won 5 games in a row. I think for us, it's looking forward to this game. You know, they'd won, what was it, 8 in a row or whatever, and we'd won 5 in a row. So, you know, 2 teams going toe-to-toe. It was a good game.
Yep. Terence thinks Emil Smith-Rowe has to play instead of Lacquer. Elliot says Martinelli is a superstar. No wonder Klopp is drooling. I mean, the way Brendan Rodgers drooled over Ramsdale, Klopp was drooling over Martinelli. I mean, he loves Martinelli.
Good. Drew some more, Klopp.
Yeah, because he ain't
Because
going
you're
nowhere.
getting, that's the closest you'll ever get to him.
Yes. All the media and Conte talking, I want to smash Villa and watch Spurs go Spursy against West Ham. Bottle that. I like that a lot. Great Gooner, Martinelli, the main positive, the negative, we didn't strengthen in January and it showed. Mark agrees with Tammy about resting Laka tomorrow. We'll get Kev's take on that a bit later on. Lessons for Saka and Rams, never switch off, and Odie's not to overthink it. That was a tense game. When you're playing against that kind of quality, Kev, like, one thing I think the Arsenal Football Club have done is become mentally stronger and more engaged in the moment. And of course, we're still a side that's gelling together and coming together. So mistakes will happen against absolutely world-class teams. But I think you agree with me on that front, right? Mental engagement is a lot superior than it was last season, the season before, and that.
Yeah, chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese this season to last season. But you know what? They talk about Odegaard not having to overthink it. Odegaard hit the target. The goalkeeper saved it. Let's get it right. He didn't fluff it. He shot it and it was going in. The goalkeeper saved it. So
Kev, you know, on the goalkeeper show with Mike from You On My Arsenal, we talked about that. Is so much of the, you know, the response to moments like that is, oh, he missed it. But we rarely say, oh, he saved, even with penalties. Oh, he missed it.
Yeah, the goalkeeper saved it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if he goes the other way, he goes in. So Odegaard steadied himself and he picked his spot. And if the goalkeeper doesn't get a touch, it goes in. Even with two defenders there, it goes in. So he had to save it, and it was a good save.
All right, a few more here on Kev's first question. Quabena says, our greatly improved calmness and composure in our passing as well as our accuracy. When we first lost 4-0 to them, our performance was littered with misplaced 5 to 10 yard passes. I think that's a great point. Good evening to you too, Gary. The sub Salah and Firmino showed how concerned Klopp was. Yeah, and he bought them. I think he bought Salah on especially much sooner
straight after the goal.
Yep.
After Jota scored, he took him straight off and brought Salah, and who else? Firmino came on, didn't they?
Yep. He wanted the insurance, Kev, because he knew
he wanted to put that in our head. Hold on a minute, you're not going to get off so light now. I'm bringing on the big guns.
Yeah. Colin says the first step to competing in these games against the top sides is handling their threat. We've done that much better in 2022 than previous years. Agree. SG says Robertson was so lucky getting the bounce, so perfect on the block. Mr. Waffle says the first game we were outclassed from beginning to end. We lost this game because of a few moments of brilliance on Liverpool's part and brain fade on our own part. Phil says youngsters were great but still need senior players in the squad. I don't think that's a false statement at all. Terence says 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, 2 fullbacks. Kev, we do still, you've been saying this all along, can't keep putting it on their shoulders. As well as Thomas Partey's improved and Xhaka, and that partnership is good. Tierney emerging. We still could use a couple of experienced players in this next window.
Yeah, I think that's why we need up to 8 players. Minimum, as you said, 5. But I think we need 8 players. We need some experience in and around it. We need some ready-made players who can go into that squad. And when we need to change the team, Sophie, we could just change 5 and put another 5 and we'll still be as strong. Yeah. That's the sign of a strong Arsenal.
Okay, I'll keep putting your responses up. Wanted to get to this one from Neil. I expected far more given all of this talk of improvement and progress, so why shouldn't we go for a win? As soon as we missed the most golden opportunity with Laka, we played them 4 times but fall short. I understand where Neil's coming from, Kev. Like when you see the progression, you see the team gelling together. It's a shame that we didn't even take a point, from the game. But I know we'll get your points in just a second. All right, 2 more. Jaffa says, main positive, we know that we need to keep this squad together. Yeah, we do.
You keep
adding definitely to it. Do. Yeah. 220 of you in live chat this fine Friday evening. Kev?
I want 120, guys. I don't even want half. I want just a little bit more. 120. Do a Vinny. Just touch it so we can move on. because we got something special for you.
Okay, I'm going to keep putting your comments up, everybody. Okay. And here we go with Kev Says, Ugo Chukwu. I'm getting better and better at pronouncing his name, Kev.
You're getting good.
Progress in the team. The game was good. Both teams played well. We could have won if we took our chances. 2 or 3 more signings were at that level. We'll definitely do a show on that in the coming days. For now, here we go. It's Kev Says. Now, remember, he records this on Dickie Bow Thursday. And you remember what day it was yesterday. Enjoy.
Question number 2. Have you changed your thinking about this team because we lost? Have you changed your thinking about this team because we lost? That's question 2.
I gotta play it again.
Question number 2. Have you changed your thinking about this team because we lost? Have you changed your thinking about this team because we lost? That's question 2.
Firstly, where did you get that sequined green bow tie? It is beyond epic, Super Kev.
From my local O'Shea's here. That's just down the road from me. Hook me up yet again. So with the sequin Dickie Bow green, lovely jubbly. I thought the squaddies would like it. Barry likes it, you see.
Barry likes it. Yes,
just something a
Barry
little bit different for the squaddies on St. Paddy's Day.
I love it. Brilliant. It was when I saw it, I thought, my God, the next thing it will turn and start glowing or something. Mark likes surprises on a Friday, so I hope you enjoyed that little surprise. Oh, wait till you see the 3rd video. So yeah, and now they're too distracted by responding to your
If
answer.
we were ever going to do a bank robbery, they'd just be waiting for us, me and you.
Okay. Graham Norton called. He wants his bow tie back.
It's mine, not his.
All right.
What's your thoughts, Ove? What's your thoughts? Have you changed your thinking because we lost?
No.
About this team?
No. If we had lost to Brighton or Villa, and I'm not sure I would change my thinking completely. I'd be disappointed because I think at this juncture in our journey, we need to be getting results like that. Liverpool have won how many games on the trot? They were 14 points behind Manchester City. And I know people are going to say, well, West Ham beat them and X beat them.
It don't matter.
That was earlier in the season also, Kev. And it doesn't matter because their journey's not our journey, right? And I would say people, for some reason, mentally are expecting West Ham to get results. A lot of people are expecting West Ham to beat Tottenham this weekend. So for me, no, not at all. Maybe last season I would have reacted differently to it with some of the players we still had. You know, would have I accepted this from, you know, if El Neni was starting and Kolasinac was still in the team, and you know, so I wouldn't have accepted that because it's like, how many times are we going to see these players do the same thing over and over again? But with this new team, this is going to be a massive lesson learned for them. So for those reasons, no, absolutely not. You know, I mean, look, this is the attitude that we're building now. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think these players change their attitude because they lost to Liverpool. I think now we have a DNA and a squad that is galvanized by games like this to be better and do better. So Matt says, no, I'm positive a win against Villa Thursday night will be forgotten. We're playing them tomorrow. What do you mean Thursday night? What am
He's
I?
maybe just got it wrong.
Oh,
He's maybe
yeah.
just got it wrong.
Either I'm like living way in the past, or
Oh, I was thinking about myself, thinking what Thursday was. No, it's tomorrow.
Archangel
It
says
is.
no, progress is still glacially slow. Oh, he's a big critic, but he is out.
Glacially slow.
Yeah,
And we sit in fourth.
interesting.
Okay, Archangel. Okay.
He is our bodyguard online though, so I'll give him some slack.
No, but hey, listen, even the bodyguard could put his foot in it at times.
Yeah, Kevin Costner did, that's for sure. Amira says 100% no, you stick with the team through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Matthew says, I think the team is more resilient. Champion Communications in Malawi says, yes, I thought we had made a lot of progress to narrow the gap with top teams. We have made some progress, but remain very, very far. Demsek says, hit the like button, thank you. Munir says, in other words, did Sophie turn off the oven? No, not at all. Oven doesn't get turned off when you lose to Liverpool. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? The sky's not falling. I'm not going Greek supersonic, and wanting to recover by having a big fat meze and some ouzo. No, absolutely not. 33-5ers, it hasn't changed. They're still playing at a high level, just need to be more clinical. Gooner Colt, not at all. No recency bias here. Sean, hello. I've had the same thought since December 2019.
What's the thought?
Yeah, tell us what your thought is. Neil says, as the doctor once said, bow ties are cool.
I love it, Neil.
Evening to you.
Evening, Ava.
Kevin O. Campbell.
No, there you Archangel. You rectified yourself there now. You brought it right back, Archangel.
The green tie matches your complexion, Kev.
Hey, this complexion goes with everything. You know
Everything.
that, Siraj.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
that, Siraj.
Absolutely. Virginia, nothing has changed for me. GD, not at all. They played better than I expected, but Liverpool are really good. And then he adds, what in the St. Paddy's is that bow tie? But to answer the question, no, I have the same feelings about the team. Bright and good future. How do you top that? I don't think you can. That's for the circus, the bow tie. Amira says we need an episode dedicated to Kev's Dicky Bow collection during the international break. That's a good idea. We can certainly do that. I still wasn't 100% sure about the process before our loss to Liverpool. So no, but happy to see definite improvement and consistency. What do you say to the fans on that comment with the process?
Yeah, but it's always a process until you get there, Sophie. It is always a process until you get there. Once you get there and you start beating the Liverpools and Man Cities, that's when you know we're going to be up for challenging. The first part of it is you've got to beat the teams in and around you on a regular basis. I think we've proven that this team can do that. We have to keep being consistent, obviously, but it's that next step is the crucial part. Once you get there, then you know the process is done.
Right.
Because then you're competing then. And then you start to see the Klopps and all that, like we saw him going a little bit crazy on the touchline. Then you start to get all the mind games before the game. You don't really see that much now because they don't see us as an equal.
Mm-hmm.
But once you become an equal, then you start seeing the respect that these teams give you. We've been there. We know it, So
hence even in the presser, like Arteta complaining about the fixture schedule. Like if Klopp or Pep or Tuchel do it, they kind of back each other up, don't they? Because they want to protect the players. Like, yes, he's right or whatever.
Because they're at the same level.
Yeah.
Because they might be doing it the next time. So, they're all Champions League and all that kind. We've been there, so we've forgotten what it feels like. We want to get back. We want to get back there, definitely.
Okay, so we'll keep putting up these comments. So Yushman says, I think the team is more mature. We just keep going and never give up. Our average squad age is 22. Quabena says, I'm still the same as when Arteta arrived. I'm trusting in the process. What Mr. Waffle says, no, I saw the same thing I saw against Manchester City. Guts, determination, but ultimately need more parts to compete at that level. And imagine if we did have those parts there's no way we should have lost that City game the way we played. You know. And again, we just allowed ourselves... That's a perfect example of a game of not staying mentally engaged until the referee blows the whistle. I mean, we should never have conceded that second goal at that point. No, I still think we need more senior players. Go on, Kev.
Yeah, but so youngsters won't know the level until they get there. If you understand what I mean. If you've never been there, so if you've never been part of a blockbuster movie, until you do it, that's when you know what it takes. You'd be on the outside, you'd be working on some B movie, but you're not Star Wars. You can't claim, I know what it takes to do that. You've done it. So you know.
And that's a great analogy. I've worked on films like The Full Monty and Napoleon Dynamite, small independent movies that went on to do big things. But at that moment, you've got like, we don't have a budget. And then you go on to work on Star Wars or, you know, Men in Black. And it's like, whew, you're at the top floor of the Dorchester with Will Smith in his, you know, arriving in his private jet with 15 rooms for everybody who's there to work on stuff. So, yeah, I like that analogy. Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, you only know until you get there. So
yeah. All right, I'll keep your comments coming up, because the average age of the squad is being taken into consideration, and you know, the fact that we're still growing. I don't think people are poo-pooing the team, Kev. I think they're standing by the process. You know, Reggie says he's reminded of the Chicago Bulls in the late 80s who couldn't get past Detroit for several years. Team kept improving and eventually won it all. What a team. What a rivalry.
But Reggie, remember, they added the correct pieces. That was the key. You've got to add the correct pieces that fit.
Yep.
Chicago was the triangle offense. Horace Grant came in, link up with Scotty and Michael.
Boom.
There you go. Boom.
And then, Kev, like our summer signings, the journey, getting rid of the whatever. And then what did they do? The second phase and wave of that team, they brought in Dennis Rodman, you know.
Rebounds.
Defense.
King of the boards. King of the defense.
Absolutely. I like what Hey Boss says here. We're still hungry to prove a point. That's what I was just saying. Love this team because they will not settle for second best. Time to refocus and go. 250. It's actually 260 now, Suraj. Keep the police.
Only 90 likes.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. 130. You know, 140. Give us 140, guys. Come on. It's another 50.
King says, we ain't the balls. This ain't B-ball. Well, no.
No,
but
we're not.
This is an example of building a team.
We're using the analogy about team building.
Yeah. That is what sports is all about. The Men in Black, cleaning up the world from the scum of the universe. If I remember correctly, that was a fun film to watch. No, I wish I was Sharon Stone's body double in Basic Instinct. I wouldn't be sitting here, I tell you, if I was. And I did work on the Full Monty, and it was a lot of fun. All right. Well done, Ian. He's hit the like button. Kev, do you remember Joe Madden computer game for a second-hand game shop on Holloway Road in the 90s? I don't know if Kev was shopping at a second-hand shop in the Holloway Road.
No.
In the 90s.
No.
Yeah. No.
It's not Kev, not my manner.
Did you stay living in South London when you were playing for...
No, I moved over to Enfield. So,
okay. Yeah.
You know, coming to the ground, Holloway wasn't my manner. I'll probably only drive through there when I was going somewhere. Really.
Did you ever have a souvlaki at Vrisagi in Palmer's Green?
Oh,
did you ever...
100%. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That was the place, man. The Terra Salata there. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And halloumi.
Stop, I'm hungry. Right, here we go. Kev's third question. I will keep your comments coming up and enjoy the next Kevin Says question. Here we go.
The bonus, question number 3. Should positivity be the number one thought in our mind to the end of the season? Because of the way the team are. Should positivity be the number one in our mentality to the end of the season? Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody, Irish brethren, and everybody who celebrates it. Look after yourself and take good care if you're out there. I'm sure you had a good day yesterday, last night, but obviously this is going out on a Friday, but I'm recording on Dicky Bowl Thursday. So I've got my green, I've got my Guinness hat on. So let me recap for everybody. What's the main positive out of the loss against Liverpool? Question 1. Have you changed your thinking about this team because we lost? That's question number 2. And should positivity be number one in our mind to the end of the season? I don't have to listen, look at me. I don't want to be brucking anybody up. It's St. Patrick's Day. Have a good time. Tell the people you love them. And let's get on. Sophie, squaddies, you know what time it is. It's time for us to start looking forward. And I've got the sequins on, man. I've got the green. Come on, you know the script. Look after yourself, squaddies. Take good care. And let's have some fun.
I had some fun, Soph, I tell you. Sophie was I've got to tell the squaddy, Sophie was absolutely cracking up when she saw those videos yesterday. That's why she couldn't keep it under wraps.
It's so brilliant, Kev. I'm telling you, it is so brilliant. And you know, if you don't have the ability to have fun, I mean, especially in the times where we got to still find a little sliver of laughter. And you certainly brought it yesterday. I was cracking up so hard. 3
things. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself. You've got to be able to smile. And you've got to be able to communicate to people that you love them. That's the 3 things. You've got to be able to do that. Laugh at yourself, smile, and communicate. Hey, I've got a little leprechaun. It was here yesterday, but he's gone now. I've sent him to Birmingham for the game tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant stuff. I mean, I think you've been seeing all the comments that I've been putting up.
Yeah, that's
brilliant reaction from the squaddies. And Mark's like, I can't even remember the question.
Should positivity, Mark, be the number one thing in our mind to the end of the season?
All right, let me try and take it up a little bit in the chat because I had to share all of the fun comments. You know what, Kev? Yes.
Where on anywhere do you get that? Guys, you watch some of the other... you don't get that anywhere, but you get it on the HIGHBURY Squad with Super Soul and Super Kev. There you go.
Super Soph, that's a new one. I like that.
There you go. With Super
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Right, let's get some of these answers up. Yes, 33Fiver says yes because of how the fans... Okay, so brilliant. Well said, 33Fivers, because you know what? I love there's a connectivity between the fans and the players again. We have players that we can fall in love with. And we also have a manager who's created a team spirit, right? But the DNA and the profile of these new signings have really helped elevate the culture of our club. This was after we beat Tottenham. This was after Rambo's super save in that game. I mean, you see these kinds of things. Our fans, who have been absolutely superb home and away this season, incredible stuff. Then you see the team celebrating, you know, like this together, the togetherness. You see this partnership come into fruition, the wonder of what that feels like and what it is. These two fellas at the back doing their thing, and continually being that backbone in the side, in addition to these two guys who have come together and have really progressed in their relationship, their understanding in how they play, but also in terms of what the manager wants. You've got a young player like Saka who's won a trophy. That's Matt Smith with him, by the way, who has got a taste of that early on in his career. And these fans, you guys, they know that you have their back now, and that makes all the difference. Kev?
Whoa, 100%, Sophie. Well said. Really well said, that was, Sophie. I mean, special. That was a special chat you just said there. Special narrative, babe. I'm telling you. Really good.
I mean, I feel it as you know, there's partnerships developing that we're loving, that we're seeing. You know, there's all of these wonderful things happening. And this is why the sky didn't fall yesterday. You know, this might annoy people and we love it, but look at the bravado of Rambo after the whole Wolves debacle and stuff. I mean, us fans have been waiting to have players like when you played, you know, the era after you.
You got a bit of an edge.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bit of an edge to you. The team's got edge to it. It's important, yeah.
Yeah, and it is, Phil. It's so easy to see. Atmosphere in that ground is electric, especially the clock end. Snake Eyes could not say anything after that. Wow, thank you. That comes from the heart, because when I heard Kev ask that question, I was like, look, I know I've been very critical of Mikel Arteta, but you just can't. You got to say what you see, and I've said what I've seen. But for some people who are still kind of picking holes, it's like we've come so far with what some people would say, Kev, at this juncture, even still so little. I know people say, well, we spent the most money in Europe. We spent 150 million. But we did that in one transfer window, whereas these other teams around us have been spending so much money as well over periods.
Window after window
windows.
after window. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
playing catch up.
Course,
yeah.
Right. I'm gonna keep putting your comments up, and I'm gonna hand it over to Kev. Win is still valuable experience. Mark says yes, absolutely. I'm trying to be positive, but honestly not confident. Okay, positive's good. Confident, I get that. That's going to be something that comes next for you, Mark. Demsek says I saw the end of the rainbow yesterday in. Paul James, we know the importance of having top quality strikers and strength in depth. Liverpool could bring on Firmino, Salah. Yes. Entertainment with life advice. That's what we do here. Continued consistency. Click the likes. Absolutely. Positively. Have to be positive, says Snake Eyes. Brilliant. They want you to leave a pot at the end of the rainbow for them. Our mentality should be critical and grounded. Right, Kev, I'm going to keep putting everyone's comments up. And we would love to know what you think now.
What's the main number one was what's the main positive out of the loss? And the main positive for me was how the team stuck together, Sophie. It would have been easy for the team to become distracted, to lose a bit of focus, to drop intensity, but they never did. They kept playing. They tried to play the same way. They tried to make a way back into the game. We are against a really good side, but I thought we competed with them. We do know our frailties, and we do know where we're short. But we knew that before the game. So the fact of the matter is that those frailties and where we're short actually came up. That's what showed up, and that's what really exposed us a little bit to why we couldn't get over the line. Should give us even more positivity, because you start addressing those things, there ain't a lot of things to address in this team. So we address those things in this team, all of a sudden we become a very dangerous outfit. Very dangerous. I think I said to you I think it was earlier on in the week. You add a 15-goal striker, just 15-goal striker to this team with speed. We are a different kettle of fish who can do the link-up play but can score 15 goals. It makes a massive difference, Sophie, to us. An extra 15 goals, for a striker, we virtually guarantee our Champions League status. So that's the fine margins. What it is, of course, we have to do it by committee now. We still have to understand. Saka's learning the game. Martinelli's learning the game. They're mega talented. We're relying on Lacazette to do that play, but he just doesn't have that goal scoring output anymore. Although he does link play and helps the other score. So we have to take what we can. We know at the back we're better. We know in midfield we're performing better. So those, again, that teamwork, that team ethic. The first goal, we know it was a mistake. The second goal, listen, it was a mistake on the line by Saka or whatever. It happens. But that's the margins now, Sophie. When we played them before, we were making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. This one came down to the finest of margins, 2. And it weren't as if we didn't even have a sniff. We had a sniffs, but we just couldn't take our chances. So for me, that teamwork, that team ethic, that culture, that's what's going to see us through. We're going to do anything, so that's what's going to see us through, and that's what's going to see us push on at Aston Villa tomorrow.
So, Kev, if we don't finish 4th, would that be a disappointment to you?
We would be disappointed. Of course we will be, because we've got a great chance to get there. We will be disappointed. Of course we will. Because you know what, Sophie? We want to. We want to get in that Champions League, because you know what? It makes us get very serious again. Champions League. We've got to get very serious again. So I'd love it really love it if we finish in the Champions League spot. If we don't, Sophie, you say, right, we need European football. So you would take the Europa, and we've had a decent season. We've had a decent season if we finish outside the Champions League. We finish in the top 4. We've had a good season with these youngsters. And then we're going, right, let's strengthen now. Let's get serious. So, yeah. I would be a little bit disappointed. Of course I would. Now that we're here, let's do it.
Yeah. And you said something pivotal there too, because one of the things we need to learn, and I know this may sound weird, even though we've been winning games, guys, we've got to get really good at winning games, knowing how to win games. There's a difference between winning a game, but then there's certain games that even if you don't, because a couple of my Liverpool mates were like, we're not playing that great, but we know how to win games.
Yeah. The thing is, so, and anybody can watch, you see them Invincibles, watch the Invincibles, and you tell me, not every game was dang, was like incredible football. Not every game. But that team knew how to stick in there.
Yep.
They knew how to bide their time, and then before you know it, they'll put a couple of moves together. You look at the score, it's 2-0 Arsenal. Game over. The other team might have had a chance, or Arsenal have had to defend, put blocks in. Then they got you don't score, they got the other end, Thierry Henry, Bang, or Bergkamp, or Freddie Ljungberg, or Pires, or Vieira. Anyone. Look where the goals were spread across the team. We could do that back then. We could do that.
And we had a couple of easy 3 or 4 games where we escaped. Like we just found a way to just win when we should have maybe really lost, or which is why we drew a few games. And that's just the reality of that. Practica disagrees with you, Kev. This match turned on 2 moments of fine margins. But Kev said that. He said that
that's
it was.
What I said.
Yeah.
So what do you disagree? What? You're agreeing with me.
You're agreeing. Yeah. All right, keep going, Kev.
Right. Question number 2. Have you changed your thinking because we lost? 100% no. In fact, it's actually galvanized me because we played against Liverpool the way we played, even going 2 goals down, we stuck to the way we played. We still caused them problems, and we still played with an intensity to our game. This made me very, very, very proud of the team. Yeah, we lost the game. Listen, I know we can lose. Anybody can lose against Liverpool the way they're playing. But this gave me really good sense of this team are ready for that top 4. They're ready to compete for it. And you know what? We're going to find out tomorrow the real mentality of our team. Early kickoff, Sophie, tomorrow against a resurgent Villa under Steven Gerrard. They're nowhere near as strong as Liverpool. So what have we got to do? We got to go to Villa Park and punch them in the mouth. So we got to take those 3 points. This is what it's about. Get our win, and then we could wait for, obviously, the rest of the games to play themselves out, and then we see where we are. That's what we've got to do. And I truly believe this team will respond. I believe in it that they will respond. If they don't respond, I'll be very surprised.
Another massive game tomorrow. I wanted to put this up from Mr. Waffle, not Waffles. This is a different Waffle. Because there's a couple of folks that disagree with you, and I know you like to answer these questions. Why is finishing 4th such an achievement, considering United and Spurs have sacked their managers throughout the season? They're the only 2 teams we're competing against. You answer it, Kev. I mean,
we're not competing against 2 teams. We're not. West Ham are in there as well. So there's 3 teams, and don't forget, you still have to win your games. You're going to be playing some teams who are fighting for their lives. You reckon that's going to be easy? I've been on those teams who are fighting for their lives. Trust me, they're going to throw everything at you. And if you're not on it, they can cause you a problem. They can. Yep. So, again, don't make light of everybody else. That they're just going to be a pushover. That's why it's called the business end of the season, Sophie. This is where we have to be on it. Every team has to be on it. And if we're not on it, we will not get the results. So we better be on it.
Yeah. Thunder Road, we do. We have a Mr. Waffles and a Mr. Waffle. But no waffling here. Kev giving it to you straight. Okay, Kev, number 3.
Number 3. Should positivity be the number 1 4 on our mind until the end of the season? Goes without saying, Sophie. It has to be. I know sometimes some people are influenced by results. Of course they are. You get beat, and then all of a sudden it's like, the team ain't there. You could start picking holes in everything. But where I sit today, I think we've got a chance of that top 4. The players are showing that they can compete. So let's do it. We've got some big games coming up. And I think it's going to come down to, Sophie, those teams that are around us. Man United, West Ham,
Tottenham,
and Spurs. It's going to come down to
we still have that Chelsea game. That Chelsea game too, Kev.
I'm just saying, because for top 4, it's going to come down to those. They're the big games. Not saying Chelsea's not a big game. By any, we know that is, but that gap is there now between us and them, which is fine. But we are battling those 3 teams for that 4th spot, and it's going to get juicy. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, completely agree. Brilliant stuff. Great questions. Awesome responses from the squaddies and from Super Kev. And a lot of you, of course, talking about tomorrow's game. We've touched on it on last night's show, but today we will be giving you our predictions. And I did want to ask Kev a couple of questions. If you have any for him, lob them in real quick and we'll answer them as best as we can. Kev, what is your biggest concern about tomorrow? I think Villa have mistakes in them at the back. I think Tyrone Mings, for me, I don't rate him. He's
a decent player, but there's a mistake there. Of course,
yes.
He's not dominant, is he? He's not a dominant player. He's a good player, but he's not a dominant player. I believe we get. Do you know what your
biggest concern, please?
Yeah, there may be a concern. my concern is that we don't defend how we don't defend like we did against some of the teams. We defended well against Liverpool most of the time. I want us to be able to lean on our defense. And that goes with goalkeeper as well. We've got to be able to stay in the game, Soph. If we go a goal up, we've got to be able to stay in that game to shut them out. The key is shutting them out so we could impose our game on them. Because they're pretty lively going forward. They've got good players. And Coutinho's playing well. So he's one. We're going to have to shut it down. Partey and Xhaka are going to have to shut that down. And we have to impose our game on them. We've got the weapons to hurt them. That's for sure. We definitely got the weapons to hurt them. But we need to keep them quiet. And I need to know we can lean on our defense. That's my concern. I want to be able to say, defense, well done. Well done.
Yeah, and of course, a couple of ex-players who'll be performing against us tomorrow. We know that Emmy's a good goalkeeper, made a fantastic save. I think it was Dawson, the header against West Ham in their last match. Chambers will probably be playing. A lot of people saying that this is a big boy game tomorrow, Kev. They all are, these last few cup finals. It is crucial. We've got to bounce back. We've got to show that we can overcome adversity. Snake Eyes is asking if Saka should be rested and Partey should start, Kev.
You mean Pepe should start?
Pepe, sorry, yeah. Pepe.
No, Saka starts. What are you resting him for? What are you resting him? It was a tough game because look who he's playing against. He's playing against Robertson, who is going to give you as much problems the other way as you give him attacking wise. It was a tough day at the office for Saka, but it's going to make him a better player. If you remember when we played Liverpool first game at Anfield, Soph, and Alexander Trent-Arnold gave Martinelli problems down their right, our left. Why? Because he went 10 yards further forward. So what happened to Martinelli? He had to track him all the way. So he ended up playing as a kind of left back. That's what the good teams could do to you. They could push you back. And that's what happened.
And, Coutinho, McGinn, Ings, of course, Watkins. They've got some danger players, Kev. We got to stay awake.
They're a good side. They're a good side. And that young lad in midfield, good player.
Ramsey,
really good player. So
yeah, he's a really good player.
I like him. I do like him. Not only is he a good player, he can score goals.
Yeah, no, he's a talent.
So they're getting goals, not only from the strikers, they're getting goals from midfield as well. So.
Yes, and Coutinho seems to have clicked a little bit in the last couple of games as well. GB wants to ask you real quick, Kev, with a likely Chambers and Mings centre-back partnership for Villa, is there a case for Emile Smith-Rowe to play the false 9?
No. Why? When we got Lacazette. We've got Lacazette to play. And if we need to change it, we can bring on Smith-Rowe. Then we could start mixing and matching. Or we can bring Eddie on. Because if you find it, Sophie, he tends to take Lacazette off and bring Eddie on. He doesn't put Pepe there like people think, or Martinelli going in there. No, it doesn't happen like that. He puts Eddie there because that's where Eddie plays.
Yeah, and I think this is what you said on last night's show too, Kev. If Laka and Saka are still looking leggy, will Arteta wait until 70-plus minutes to make a sub? You were saying yesterday 20, 25 minutes maybe, but yeah, it depends how the game goes.
Yeah, it just depends. Listen, you might say to yourself, if Laka was looking leggy after an hour, then you make the change. That was a real high intensity draining game against that Liverpool side because you have to do to them what they do to you.
And players like Saka, you know, it was a little easier against Manchester City. He played well against all of that man marking. He had 4 or 5 players around him all the time. Odegaard, Saka, they were really, as soon as they got the ball, they were like, it was like sharks on human meat. You know, Liverpool were well after them. TJ Mack asks, Kev, everyone keeps saying Saka is tired, jaded. Do you think he's just learning how to manage a full Premier League season and isn't tired as he's barely playing 90 minutes recently and once a week? Your thoughts?
Everyone keeps saying he's tired because what? He didn't.
Oh, we lost Kev. I think we've lost Kev. Kev's frozen in time, just as he was going to answer the question about Saka. I think the issue that people don't tolerate the tired narrative is because we haven't played European football and we got knocked out of the FA Cup early. And so that, I think, is something a lot of fans struggle with. You know, how can you be tired when you haven't played? Kev's going to reboot and come back in. He will come back in. He will answer your questions. So, yeah, I think that's the difference. Eddie is championship level, rather play academy kids with chance of becoming Premier League level. I mean, I think we all know the situation with Eddie. We know what we're going to get when he plays. To be fair to him, he's been decent when he's come on. You know, almost scored. He was, I think it was him who hit the post. Was it him or Pepe who hit the post? When they come on as a sub. So let's see. Demsek says, Sophie, I think the club has decided to go all out for top 4. Well, some fans would argue that if we were going all out for top 4, then we would have invested a little bit more in January. But I completely understand your angle and where you're coming from in saying that we're going all out for top 4 now. What I would like to have seen, the only small criticism I will give Mikel Arteta is I wish he'd made those subs a little bit earlier in the Liverpool game to really allow those players to kind of affect the game, especially Pepe, where I felt like there was an opportunity for us to maybe expose them on that side where Saka really wasn't having a lot of luck, and it did seem like his energy had run out. It was just a tough game for him, as Kev said. Sophie, our players are still tired with 1 game a week. Yeah, I mean, football's intense and we don't have too much rotation. Our squad isn't that deep yet. You know, we're just not able to do that. Look, you know, Liverpool can sub the players they do. Manchester City, Chelsea, even Manchester United have had a lot of rotation. Our squad is still thin. And yeah, you could say, well, then we should have strengthened in January. But we got knocked out of the FA Cup early, you guys. We've been out of the League Cup since January. We're not playing European football. There's not too many excuses, right, for not having the energy to play. Thank you, Bonzo. George's opinion says, I think they tried to get... Yeah, but we were never going to get him. He was always going to go to Juventus. I would say that was a little bit of time wasted in the pursuit of Vlahovic. It just never felt like that was going to happen for us. And there's definitely some strikers. I know that you guys have some favourites. We've been talking about them on the show a lot over the last few months. And I agree with Kev. And my heart loves Lacazette. But I totally agree with him in the sense that we need a prolific goal scorer to help us crank it up a notch. Look, we upgraded the centre-back positions. We've upgraded the goalkeeper position. We've upgraded our right-back, our left-back, the midfield with Thomas Partey. The things that Martinelli's brought to the team, Saka, that's the position that will be the icing on the cake. And Kev would argue that we need 2 strikers, not just the one. We could use 2 strikers. So I think there's a lot of merit in that. And if we do qualify for European football, we're tired now. No excuses. You can't be tired when you're playing professional football. But that's where we need to build on the squad and make sure that we make signings that can enhance the team. Kev?
So I have to use my phone because my computer has rebooted.
It started to reboot itself. And it's only
love it.
just coming back.
Yeah, I was just kind of answering the tired question, you know, in the sense that I know that you are of the ilk. There's no excuses for fatigue, especially since we haven't been playing European football. Your quick take on that one, Kev.
And also, Sophie, with all the sports science that they've got, they know everything about the players. They know what level you're at. They know everything, whether you're flagging, what's going on, what time you start to flag. Again, it was a tough game against Robertson. Robertson goes the other way. Saka had to do that work. Did people say Saka looked tired against Watford?
Yeah.
No. I didn't hear anybody say Saka looks tired. Why? Because we dominated. We looked the part. We won the game. But when you play against the top teams, they're going to ask you different questions. So maybe he couldn't shine as much. It was Martinelli's day. Martinelli was the one who was shining. So I don't buy into all that, Sophie. I don't.
Yeah. And also we have definitely been saying that, you know, Gabriel doesn't have the best game. Benjamin White seems to. The other way around. When Benjamin doesn't, Gabriel generally has a lot of good games. You know, Partey, Xhaka, the balance. There's a backbone and a backup. We play more as a team now versus as individuals, Kev, which is really important. And you're right. You know, no one's making excuses when Saka's scoring a couple goals, or like you said against Watford. It's interesting.
Yeah. Again, a lot of what fans tend to look at is he didn't have a good game, so he must be tired.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't necessarily always work that way. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes Saka, and we might see this moving forward as well, Sophie. Sometimes Saka has to dig in on his side in order to allow Martinelli to go and do his stuff on the other.
Yeah.
If he's the one who's going to be on fire, brilliant. Let him crack on and do what he's got to do. I'll dig in and make sure this left back who likes to bomb forward doesn't cause us many problems. And let's be honest, Robertson didn't cause us a lot of problems. Why? Because probably Saka done such a good job on him.
Yeah, I thought Robertson had a great game. I think he was man of the match. I mean, he kind of had Saka in his pocket, I felt, in that match.
Yeah, but what did he do going forward is my point. Normally...
Sure.
That's my point. Because, okay, he didn't let Saka get the better of him, attacking-wise. But did Robertson... Normally you see Robertson popping up on the edge of your box about 20 times a game and he's whipping balls across your box. I didn't see Robertson doing that. So that's where Saka done his job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So...
Totally.
You know,
I understand what you're saying. I thought Robertson was exceptional in that match. And, you know, it happens sometimes. But, DS, I don't agree with you here. That Martinelli, the game reveal, that's one game. One game doesn't reveal who has a higher ceiling than the other. I think they're both super talented. I did make a comment earlier in the season that Emil Smith-Rowe's ceiling might be a little bit higher, but we'll see. Well done to our ladies who won 4-0 in the FA Cup. They move on. Congratulations. We'll be talking about them again next week with a couple of our women's football experts. Kev, there's a question for you here. I'm going to get you out on this one. Thanks for being able to bounce back in with your phone. Someone asked about whether or not it would be acceptable or disappointing if West Ham finished above us. Here it is.
Would it be acceptable?
Would it be unacceptable if West Ham finish above us?
If they finish above us, they'd have earned it. I don't understand. I don't get all this stuff, Soph, about will it be unacceptable? Let me in. I think the computer's starting to kick in again now. Just wait a minute.
Okay. It says device is not connected, so I can't get you in.
1 sec.
Yeah. We've got just a few minutes left here. I think the squaddies will be able to Oh, here we go. I don't know if you'll have a camera. Do you have camera? Let's see. Do you guys want to see two Super Kevs? Hey?
There you go.
Kev, that was actually brilliant. We could do like
Now I can't hear you. Hold on.
now he can't hear me. Oh, Newman bounces in. Technophobe. No, he's got it all going on. He's got it all going on. The computer wants you to get the bow tie out again. Daka and Udegaard had 2 and 3. Yep. Let's see. Let's judge our performance on where we are and not where we wish we would be. I know, Tammy, he showed up late. We should just give him a card just for that. Should give him a card. I haven't handed out cards in a really, really long time. Look, you got 2 Super Kevs again.
Look, we're just gonna do it on this one, so
okay.
Just to finish off.
Just to finish off that West Ham question, Kev, because you say they earned it.
It's not on it. It's acceptable. If somebody's going to finish above us, they're going to have to earn it. Right? That's for sure. We're in pole position right now. Can it change? Of course it could change. We've got some tough games coming up. But all this is it unacceptable? No. If a team performs better than we do, you have to take it. You have to take it. Do we like it? No. We don't want it to happen. But it can happen. West Ham are a decent outfit at the moment. Let's be fair. They're doing pretty well. So again, this team have to perform. We've got it all to do. So let's do it, Gooners.
Definitely. We're getting The Matrix and Inception on the Highbury squad tonight. I love it. Newman did send me some new art. And you know what, Newman? I'm going to show it on Monday. Okay?
Was that part of the Matrix, was it, that it keeps flicking around? Oh, jeez.
Oh, great show, everyone. Brilliant stuff. 330 of you in chat. Tammy, how many likes do we have? Come on, let's hear it. Inception, great movie. Yeah, did not work on that. It is a pie. It's a pie. He did some art for me on the humble pie. Yeah. Yes, Super Kev is he'd make a great Morpheus. He is our Morpheus. Absolutely. Right. That's it. Kev, your prediction for tomorrow's game.
Aston Villa 1. The Arsenal 2. 2-1 to the Arsenal. We get the win at Villa Park and we roll on. So 2-1.
Okay. We have 172 likes and 330 in live chat. Do you like that? Do you like those numbers?
I do, Soph. I do.
That's not bad,
I must say I do. Well done, squaddies.
Kev took the red pill. Brilliant. I love you guys. Crazy Kev. He's giving it to you tonight. He's not held anything back. You've had Kev the leprechaun. You've had the bow tie. You've had it all. He's thrown the chicken sink.
I throw the chicken sink at it. You're right, Soph. And I've even gone for the Matrix phone. Look.
We're giving it to you. I'm going to go for a 3-1 tomorrow. I think we bounce back. And don't worry, Newman, I will share. I don't know who I am right now. I don't, but no, I do. I don't know what you mean, but I was a character in the Matrix a minute ago. So yeah, just trying to keep up with Kev here. 3-1 for me. We love Kev. Absolutely brilliant. I will be back for a post-game show tomorrow. Super Kev is working the game on Astro. So good luck with that, Kev. I'm sure it'll be brilliant. You can find me on TalkSport on The Breakfast Show with our good friend Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. If you're in LA and you're going to the LA Galaxy game tomorrow, let me know. I'll come say hello. And of course, we can't do this without our very special friends at Football Prizes. We'll have another auction for you on Monday. Newman shows up late, gives me a 9 and you a 5. I mean, he literally showed up 5 minutes ago. You know, just saying. Trinity. Yes. You know, actually, I will show you something next week where someone wrote a poem about me when I was working at 20th Century Fox. And I was leaving, Kev, and they superimpose your face on posters and stuff, which is really a lot of fun. I'll show it to you guys. Let's just say Trinity does come up in my farewell from Fox on that. Thank you. Trinity and Morpheus, we're out. Super Kev, let them have it.
Listen, do not glitch in the matrix, just like my computer. You saw the dicky bow with the sequins, and you saw the Guinness hat. We love you, squaddies. Come on the Arsenal. You know we want you to do the business at Villa Park tomorrow. Really important. Let's back the team. And you know what? The best part about the Arsenal is the fans. Love you, squaddies. Take it easy. And at ease, squaddies.
We're going to need guns. Lots of guns. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.